Call to order the City of Milton Virtual Common Council meeting, April 20th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Can we get confirmation of appropriate meeting notice?
The agenda was posted at Dave's Ace Hardware, Piggly Wiggly, and Milton City Hall.
All right, this is what everybody's been waiting for 2 years. The swearing in of newly elected officials.
So congratulations to Larry, Teresa, and Bill. We'll do your oath of offices first.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Let's hang on 1 second. It looks like Bill was just getting back on. There he is now.
Okay. Yeah, we need him for this part.
I'm with you for real now.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, it looks like you might be on twice, Bill.
Yeah, it looks like it.
There, we should be okay now.
Perfect. Thanks.
And Teresa, did you want to unmute yourself?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so Larry, Teresa, and Bill, if you want to raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Bill Wilson,
Having been elected as a common council alderperson.
Having
been
elected
common council,
common council person.
Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
And faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
And faithfully
and impartially
discharge the duties.
I shouldn't have done so many words. Discharge the duties of said office.
Discharge the duties of said
said
office.
office
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
God.
Right, thank you. And then congratulations, Anissa. And if you want to raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Anissa Welch,
Having been elected as mayor of the city of Milton.
having been elected mayor as the City of Milton,
Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
And faithfully and impartially discharge the duties.
and faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
Of said office to the best
of said office to the best
of my ability.
of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to thank my daughter and my brother and sister-in-law. I don't know if anybody else is on here. Let me second page. And any other of my family members that are here, I really appreciate it. I think this is the first time we've all been together for a swearing in. So thank you, Zoom.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Okay, election of the Common Council President. I cannot remember exactly how we did this last year by Zoom.
That's a good question. We should have reviewed the tape from last year and how we did it via Zoom. In years past, when we're in person, we take nominations. And if there is one nomination and no other nominations, it's just a simple vote. But if there are multiple nominations, then we have taken kind of a blind ballot approach. So perhaps if there are multiple nominations, we can DM Inga via the chat with your vote.
There's actually a way that if we had multiple nominations, that I think Inga could create a poll, in which case certain people could vote, and it's hides who actually voted for who, and then she can show the results.
Yep, I can do that. But that might go to everybody on the meeting.
True.
Not might, it will.
Yeah.
So that might get a little confusing.
Are you looking for a nomination?
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
so.
It's ultimately up to Anissa, but I guess that would be the next procedural step.
That's,
Yeah, the only other way you could do it to vote is maybe each person go to a breakout room with you, Inga, and tell who they voted for.
Oh.
I don't know.
How about we
Last
start
year-
with, let's see if there are multiple nominations. And if there are multiple nominations, then we can proceed with coming up with a plan for voting.
Okay.
I would nominate Ryan.
I would second that.
Is there any other nominations? That makes it probably easier.
And then last year in the minutes, I had Alderperson blank motion to close the nominations.
Oh.
So if someone wants to make that motion,
Linda,
I'll make that motion to close the vote.
is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Okay, so we have one person nominated and the nomination has been seconded, and that's Ryan Holbrook for president of the city council. So is it just unanimous consent or? Go ahead, Mark. Mark S.
Yes, you can. I just go ahead and have your vote then on the nomination.
All those in favor of Ryan Holbrook being council president, say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? That motion carries. We have an agenda. All right, Pledge of Allegiance. For those of you that have not been on our virtual Zoom council meetings, you can see the flag over Inga's shoulder. And I would ask Ryan to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
America.
America,
to the republic
public,
for which it
it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
justice for all. All right. Public comments regarding items which can be affected by council action. So I know that we have some members of the Milton Youth Coalition, and if you would like to speak now or speak when your agenda item comes up, it's up to you how you would like to do this. That's item number 14.
I think
Really?
I would prefer just to respond to questions at the time it comes up.
Okay. All right, that's the way we'll proceed. Mayoral proclamation for Alcohol Awareness Month. Okay. I have 3 of these, so I had to make sure that I have the correct one here. All right, Alcohol Awareness Month, April 2021. Whereas excessive alcohol consumption is a serious public health and safety concern in Wisconsin, Whereas a higher percentage of adults in Wisconsin regularly consume alcohol than in most other states, and a higher rate of these regular drinkers consume alcohol excessively, also known as binge drinking, at least once per month when compared to other states. And whereas consuming alcohol and binge drinking in particular can have a negative impact on an individual's personal life, professional life, and mental and physical health, and can even increase the risk of developing some cancers. And whereas the estimated annual cost of binge drinking to Wisconsin's economy is $3.9 billion, which includes costs related to lost productivity, healthcare, and criminal justice. And whereas this occasion presents all Wisconsinites with the opportunity to examine their drinking habits and assess the effects on their overall health and well-being, and to utilize resources available on the Wisconsin Department of Health Services website to learn more. And whereas this month, the state of Wisconsin joins the Wisconsin Department of Health Services in supporting the enforcement of minimum legal drinking age laws, highlighting the resources and support available for folks who need professional help to avoid unhealthy alcohol use, and supporting our friends, family members, and neighbors in recovery. Now therefore, I, Anissa Welch, Mayor of the City of Milton, do hereby proclaim April 2021 as Alcohol Awareness Month throughout the City of Milton, and I commend this observance to all our states and our city's residents. April 20th, 2021. All right. Our next proclamation is National Volunteer Week, April 18th through April 24th, 2021. Whereas the City of Milton is proud of the volunteers that serve our community to ensure Milton is a great place to live, work, and raise a family. And whereas the city is certain Milton's volunteers are the greatest asset to the community. And whereas Milton has numerous community organizations supported by volunteers, and the City of Milton has committees, commissions, and boards run by volunteers, including the Board of Review, Community Development Authority, Ethics Board, Historic Preservation Commission, Joint Fire Commission, Library Board, Parks and Recreation Commission, Police Commission, Public Works Committee, and Zoning Board of Appeals. And whereas the Milton Township Fire Department is supported in part by volunteerism with dedicated staff and directly help the City of Milton with numerous duties and tasks that assist in keeping our community safe. And whereas the City of Milton celebrates the individuals who contribute to the community, and whereas each year a special week is designated in our nation for the dual purpose of recognizing those who give of themselves and of encouraging all community members to become involved in volunteer work. And it is fitting at this time that we say thank you to all individuals, groups, and businesses who have given time, energy, and resources to the communities through their volunteer service. Now, therefore, I, Anissa Welch, Mayor of the City of Milton, do hereby proclaim April 18th through the 24th, 2021 as National Volunteer Week in the City of Milton, and encourage our community members to celebrate and thank all of the volunteers serving our community. And further, I urge all community members to explore volunteer opportunities with our community nonprofit organizations, the City of Milton, the Milton Public Library, and the School District of Milton. And I'll sign this the 20th day of April, 2021. And our next item is discussion and possible action regarding Resolution 2021-09, recognizing April 22nd, 2021 as Stand Against Racism Day. And many of you have your Stand Against Racism cards and Stand Against Racism pledge that I delivered to you yesterday. I will read the resolution. And then we take a vote on this, correct, Marcus?
You certainly can.
Okay. Resolution 2021-09. recognizing April 22nd, 2021 as YWCA Stand Against Racism Day in the city of Milton, state of Wisconsin. Whereas all residents, regardless of race, creed, or ethnicity, deserve to be treated with dignity, respect, compassion, and justice. And whereas City of Milton residents value initiatives that will end race-based disparities and make the world a more equitable, inclusive, and dignified place for all to live. And whereas the elimination of racism can be achieved only with the participation of all residents in dialogue, reflection, and action. And whereas the Common Council of the City of Milton supports YWCA in its praiseworthy mission to eliminate racism, empower women, stand up for social justice, help families, and strengthen communities. And whereas the City of Milton proudly supports the YWCA Rock County in celebration of Stand Against Racism, a signature campaign of YWCA USA to build community among those who work for racial justice and to raise awareness about the negative impact of institutional and structural racism in our communities. Be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Milton hereby declares April 22nd, 2021 as YWCA Stand Against Racism Day and encourage residents, local businesses, educators, and community and faith-based organizations to celebrate diversity and advocate for the elimination of racism. Be it further resolved that Thursday, April 22nd, 2021 is declared as YWCA Stand Against Racism Day. Is there a motion? Linda, you're on mute.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 20-2109.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions, comments, discussion? All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed?
Abstain.
Abstain.
The resolution passes. And we have our Stand Against Racism pledge that we annually have our picture taken to send to the YWCA. So if staff and elected officials have their sign with them, can you hold it up and then we'll get a picture to send to the YWCA.
You have to turn off backgrounds. I think.
Got it?
Got it?
Inga, can you take the screenshot? I don't see Inga. Did you get it? Okay. Okay, awesome. And we will send that picture to the YWCA. Okay, item number 10, approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Bill, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the consent agenda is approved. Discussion and possible action regarding a commercial facade grant application for Stockman Property Development LLC at 644 College Street.
This is a commercial facade grant application that's been provided to us by Mr. Eric Stockman, who now owns the property at 644 College Street. This is the former American Awards and Promotions building, if folks aren't familiar with it. He has filled out the application in its entirety and is certainly eligible for this facade grant. To the best of my knowledge, this would be Mr. Stockman's first resident or commercial facade grant application. Following the course of action that the council has taken on several previous grants, Mr. Stockman has requested grants in the full amount of $10,000 with the understanding that he wouldn't be able to apply for another one within the 5-year period if he is awarded both of these. He intends to, kind of redo the facade of the building in context to the previous facade, and he's provided that historical picture. He has gone before the Plan Commission and received Plan Commission's approval because this is a B3 zone district. It does require Plan Commission's approval, and they did unanimously support his site plan. So now he's requesting the council review his commercial facade grant application. And city staff recommends approval of the application. Mr. Stockman's available for questions if anybody has any as well.
Ryan, any questions or comments?
No.
Bill, any questions or comments?
No questions.
Linda?
No questions. Looks good.
Larry?
No questions, just a comment. Thank you very much for doing what you're doing to improve our community. It's appreciated.
Thank you.
Lisa, any questions or comments?
No, thank you, Eric.
Is there a motion?
I would move approval.
I'll
Or
say it.
second?
Second.
Ryan, second it. And Linda? All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, discussion and possible action regarding a TIF development agreement with 401k Properties LLC at 645 College Street.
Well, Bob Rippenberger has requested a TIF development agreement be drafted for his property at 645 College Street. This is the former Captain Clean building that he purchased back in 2019. This property, he intends to renovate this property pretty much entirely. As you may recall, this has been boarded up for some number of years and has fallen into disrepair. He too has brought forth his site plan, which was approved by the Plan Commission. This is, just so folks are aware or can have a recollection, this is the property that we discussed earlier this year in terms of the WEDC Community Development Investment Grant that we supported Mr. Rippenberger's application for, as well as the property that Mr. Rippenberger received a facade grant for back on April 7th. He's requesting a TIF development agreement in the amount of $17,500. This is based on the value increase from the base value of $112,000, which was the value at the time that the TIF was created, and to increase the value to $200,000. If he's able to do that, the $17,500 grant that the city would provide for our TIF development agreement purposes would be forgiven. But if he's unable to obtain that minimum value of $200,000, there would be a clawback provision. And I've spoken to Mr. Rippenberger about this, and he understands how that process works and is in agreement with the logistics of that. So in the event that the Common Council approves this TIF development agreement, the city and Mr. Rippenberger would sign the agreement, and then the city would provide him an upfront cash incentive of $17,500, and then track this for the next 10 years to make sure that that minimum value is met for that 10-year period, forgiving $1,750 per year, which would be the commensurate increase in taxable value for the property. Funding for this would come from TIF 10. And I think that pretty much hits the highlights of it. If there are questions, I see Bob is on as well.
Bill, any questions or comments?
Just a comment in terms of this kind of goes hand in glove with what we just did with the other property. The combination of these two properties being improved is vastly going to improve that neighborhood.
Linda, any questions or comments?
No, I think that this is great. I'm gonna echo the same thing that Bill said.
Ryan, any questions or comments?
No questions or comments.
Teresa, any questions or comments?
No, thank you, Bob.
Larry, any questions or comments?
Thank you very much for your efforts.
And is there a motion?
I so move to approve the TIF agreement as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed?
Aye.
That was an aye in favor, Linda.
Yes.
Is there anyone
I feel like I'm
opposed?
losing my signal or something.
You're a little choppy, Linda. Sometimes it helps if you turn off your video.
Okay.
Is there anyone opposed? Okay, that motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, discussion and possible action regarding resolution 2021-10, authorizing the execution of closing documents and warranty deed for sale of land to IHT Investments LLC.
This is the final step in the process of the TIF development agreement with IHT Investments LLC, which is more commonly known as in our community Carl's Place. You may recall the council approved a TIF development agreement with Carl at its last council meeting, and then subsequently approved a certified survey map, which subdivided the 17.65 acres of land that he will be purchasing from the city of Milton. This resolution authorizes the execution and closing documents and warranty deed for the sale of that property. And as long as it is approved today, we will be closing on that property or on that sale of property tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And I wouldn't be surprised if he had bulldozers out there tomorrow at 3:01.
Ryan, do you have any questions or comments?
No questions or comments.
Linda?
No.
Bill?
Al kind of answered the question. I thought they were pretty much shovel ready, so.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
All right.
Larry?
No, thank you.
Teresa?
No questions.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
To approve resolution 2020-10 as presented?
Yes.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Is there anyone
Aye.
opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Item number 14, discussion and possible action regarding the Milton Youth Coalition request for the city of Milton to serve as the fiscal agent for the drug-free communities grant.
So there are a number of people on the call tonight. Verlene Orr from the school district, Sarah Stuckey from the school district, Jane Goldberg from the school district, and there's a couple of names I don't recognize, so I'm not sure if they're with your team. Oh, and John Cruzan, who's from just everything else. So, and as I outlined in the memo, I'll kind of kick things off, and then I'll maybe turn it over to Verlene or Jane or whoever wants to speak. But ultimately, the Milton area or the Milton Youth Coalition, which has been in existence for quite some time, has talked to the city on several occasions in the past about the community drug community or drug-free communities grant. Now, this is a grant that's generally made available on an annual basis to communities so long as they haven't received one already. Most of our neighboring communities have done so, and in fact, and many of them are entering their 10th year already this year. Edgerton, Evansville, Janesville are all in the process or have worked through the process. As part of that grant application, they need to have a fiscal agent designated. And what that typically is, from what I understand, is it needs to be an entity that has the capacity, probably has some sort of federal FEIN number that separates them from just a standard old 501c3, that acts as the fiscal agent in the overseeing of the administration of the grant. They've approached the city of Milton. We've had a longstanding commitment to the Milton Youth Coalition from back from City Administrator Schutz and currently Mayor Welch and on. So there was some discussion as to whether it made sense for the city to serve in that capacity. So we've had several discussions over the last several months about this, and believe that we can serve in that capacity so long as the council understands what that commitment means for the organization in terms of staff time and the match that is required. In this case, the grant would require the hiring of a program director and a program coordinator, both which would serve as employees of the city of Milton. In our specific case, Ashley Kunkel has agreed to serve as the program director with the assistance through myself and probably Jenny Salvo and Inga Cushman and certainly Dan Nelson and others. And we would be the processors of the grant, or the administrators of the grant. The Milton Youth Coalition would still drive the overall program, set the strategies, set the program, events, things of that nature. But those individuals would be employees of the city of Milton and work under the guise of the city of Milton benefits package. One of the other pieces of the grant is that there must be a match to the grant. So the grant request is for $125,000. So that means that the Milton Youth Coalition would have to come up with a match of $125,000, which sounds like a very large match. But based on what we know and the research that we've done, and we're lucky that we have Jane Goldberg on the call, who actually serves as the program coordinator for the city of Janesville's grant process, in-kind contributions can be used as a match. So anytime that Ashley spends, Dan spends, myself, or Sarah Stuckey at the school district, or Verleen at the school district, anytime that is spent can be charged to the grant as an in-kind match. So the concept of coming up with $125,000, although it may seem scary at first, other entities have shown that it is a very attainable match through that in-kind process. So because this is a commitment from city staff, and because there is an obligation for us to be the administrators of the grant, we wanted to have council's understanding and the ability to ask questions of this before we move forward with kind of drafting the grant as the city of Milton being the fiscal agent. And as I understand it, the grant is due on May 14th or 15th. But so we want to answer this question as soon as possible. If the council is not comfortable with the city of Milton serving as the fiscal agent, then the Milton Youth Coalition would have to find another entity that would serve in that capacity or forego this year's grant cycle. But I don't want to put the words in anybody's mouth. So Verleen said the grant is due May 10th. So from our perspective as the city of Milton, that would be our obligation. But I certainly want to give opportunities for Sarah and Jane and Verleen or any others who are a part of the process to speak on this.
One other thing that I would add is that it does advance our goals and objectives in the city's strategic plan, as you can see from the memo prepared. So this is one of the ways that we can meet some of those goals. As you know, I've been involved with the Milton Youth Coalition, and so has Sarah since the beginning. And this started off with an anti-bullying campaign that we partnered with the Milton Police Department and with Lieutenant John Conger on. And this is a natural progression of youth coalitions to take. And so, like Al said, the surrounding communities have already been doing this for 10 years. So Milton is one of the few communities in Rock County that actually hasn't participated in the drug-free communities grant. So it would really be a nice next step forward for the coalition and all of those members that have worked years and years on the coalition's goals and what they've tried to accomplish in the city of Milton for our youth and families. And if there's any questions or comments, just let us know, and then we'll have whoever is best capable of answering those questions answer them. I'll start with Bill.
I really like the idea of strengthening the partnerships that already exist between the school district, the city through the library, and Macy. This is, I think, a win-win-win all the way around.
And Linda?
I think that this is great.
Ryan?
I don't have any questions or comments.
Teresa?
No questions.
Larry?
As an alcohol and drug counselor, it's right on. I'm very supportive.
Does anybody from the coalition have any comments or anything? And you don't have to. I'm just giving you this opportunity if there's anybody that wants to make any comments. On Cruzan, you just have to unmute yourself.
I just wanted to clarify. I think I heard Bill Wilson say Macy, Area Youth Center, and that's a very common confusion between the Milton Youth Coalition and Macy. They are two separate entities. I think Bill probably knows that. I'm thinking he probably just spoke that, but I thought I should clarify.
Thank you, John.
Verlene?
Yeah, as chair of the coalition, I just wanted to say, prior to taking the official vote, thank you for considering it. I'm very excited about the opportunity, and we kind of got ourselves re-energized about 2 years ago now, and the grant requires us to have, I believe, 12 or 13 different sectors of our community represented, and we don't have to go in search of those because they're already part of our group. COVID slowed us down because for the first 2 months, I didn't know how to lead a meeting virtually. But there's a lot of energy in our community surrounding making it a healthier place. It already is a good, healthy place to raise kids, but making it even a healthier, better place and looking at the messages they're getting, et cetera. So thank you for considering it.
Anybody else? Anything further? I do want to say that there is a committed group. Even through COVID, there is a committed group that meets monthly, and there's representation on that group from many sectors, including the Rock County prevention position is on this coalition. So there's support for our coalition countywide and citywide. So I think that really speaks highly of this coalition and the work that they're trying to do for the city of Milton. And I invited Jenny to sit in on our last meeting, so she could be introduced to new community members and see what we're doing. She's had some experience with the Edgerton Coalition. So I'm really excited if they're able to get this grant. Of course, it does require a commitment from the city of Milton, and we're interested in partnering and see what the council would like to do going forward. So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the city serving as the fiscal agent for the drug-free communities grant.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Mark, is that enough for the motion?
Yes, that's fine. That's exactly what's being requested, so that's fine.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Is there anyone
Aye.
opposed? Okay, that was an aye from Linda. So that motion carries. Congratulations, Milton Youth Coalition. You now have a fiscal agent for the Drug-Free Communities Grant. And we look forward to partnering with you and see if we get this grant to help move the community forward.
Thank you for your support.
You're welcome.
If I could just make one more comment, we always are looking for other coalition members, so all of you are welcome. If you're interested, let me know. It's just, we meet the second Friday of every month.
At 8:30, virtually.
Correct.
All right,
Thank
thank you. And you all are free to stay on for the rest of the meeting, or you are free to leave. So it was nice to see all of you. Thanks for coming. All right, discussion and possible action regarding changes to the residential exterior improvement program funding for 2021.
So as you are aware, this will be the third year of the Residential Exterior Improvement Program. The council created this program back in 2019. And at that time, the council allocated $25,000 on an annual basis to be given out for grant recipients for the Residential Exterior Improvement Program. And this program has been successful. I think we've expended that $25,000 in each year. And even last year during COVID. And this year, we opened up the grant cycle as we typically do at the first of the year and accepted applications up until April 12th, I believe. And this year, we received the largest number of requests that we've ever received. As you can see on the application list, the 2021 application list, that's just so far to date. We are aware that there are other people who are kind of watching this who may consider applying as well if funds remain available. So in talking with some of the CDA members, the question was, well, is there an appetite from the Common Council to expand this program at least for 1 year, as we see the amount of interest in the grant program? And, you know, the nexus was made to me, at least by one CDA member. Many of these entities that requested funds referred to their stimulus checks as their match. Realizing that that's, you know, probably that process may be done now through the federal government. The question is do we want to see those dollars kept right here in Milton and invested in our housing stock? So in discussing that with the CDA, said, you know, all we can do is ask the council if they're interested in it, if they're interested in temporarily expanding or doing an expansion of this program for one time. The CDA has not reviewed the grants. I want to make that clear. So although there is a total request out there right now of $38,000, I believe the number was. I clicked on the wrong attachment. 38,000. It is not for certain that all of those grants will receive an approval or a recommendation from the CDA. But you know, through a cursory review, the vast majority of them are eligible. In fact, they're all eligible to some degree or another. It just comes down to a matter of is the CDA held to the $25,000? And if so, then they're going to need to go through some sort of prioritization process. But if the council is willing to expand this program for 1 year, then they may be able to award all of these grants or more if one of these or others are denied. So the question is, and I put $40,000 in the memo, that's just a number. That could be $38,224.50, or it could be $30,000, or it could be $50,000. But the request was, would the council consider expanding this grant program for the year 2021? So it was a very long explanation as to how we got here, but.
Questions or comments, Bill Wilson?
No question right now.
Ryan?
No question right now either.
Linda?
I guess in looking at this, my first reaction was that through COVID, I truly believe we've been very generous in assisting people as much as we can, and trying to help out. I guess I'm kind of on the fence about adding any more. I understand what you're saying, Al, about people maybe having that matching cash right now. I'm just not sure if this is, I'm on the fence with this.
I have a question. What is our limit on facade grants per year?
The commercial one?
Yes.
We don't have, I don't believe there's a program limit on that.
So we could spend 50, 100,000. There's never been a limit year after year on the commercial facade grants?
Not through the program guidelines, no. Obviously, you know, we can only spend as much as we have, and the TIF districts are the funding source for these grants. And as you can see right now, the TIFs are a little cash poor. You are able to negatively spend in TIF districts, and obviously there's, you know, a future increment in revenue that will overcome any negative balance that there is. It's just what level of comfort does the council have in that? So to directly answer your question, no, there's no cap on it per guidelines.
Has that council ever, I don't recall in the time that I've been mayor on council that the council's ever motioned to reinstate a cap for businesses or commercial investment.
Not since I've been here, no.
Larry? Questions or
Yeah.
comments?
Oh, I just think it's a great program for our community for a couple of reasons. One is obvious, just from aesthetic viewpoint, the view of the projects when they're finished, how it improves the neighborhood, et cetera. But the other one is, I think it's a program that gives back directly to our residents as people who own property in our community. It's really a positive thing. So if we can do it, I'd say yes. So.
Teresa, questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Does anybody else, Bill or Ryan, have any questions or comments? Just to follow up, since you didn't have any originally.
I'm okay.
I just think it's a good program. That's my only comment.
It is.
Anybody else? Is there a motion? Larry?
I would make a motion that we approve an amount up to $40,000 for a 1-year term on the residential facade grants.
Mark?
Before that's seconded, I just had a question for Dan and Al in terms of procedurally. Is this something that would require an amendment to the budget? And if so, would it be preferable for your purposes to have the direction to prepare a resolution to that effect?
Yeah, it wouldn't require an amendment to the budget because the funding source is TIF, and because the project plans already allow for this expense,
Okay.
each expenditure would come from the individual project plan. In
All
the
right.
event that, Dan and I talked about this, and I made it kind of made mention of it in the email. If at the end of the year we have some residual funds and we would rather have this come from general fund than opposed to TIF due to the strained cash balances, we could choose to do that, and then that would be handled through the budget amendment that we do at the end of the year every year anyways. So in the short term, because the funding source is TIF and it is an approved expenditure within each of its project plans, we wouldn't need to do that.
Okay. Is there I'm not sure where we were in the motion.
I'll
I think we
second
need a
Larry's
second.
motion.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Linda, I don't know if you're in favor or against.
In favor.
In favor. Okay.
That was
okay.
an aye.
I know, it just comes a little bit delayed, and I wanted to make sure that we understood where you stood on this. So as far as I can tell, it was unanimous and that motion passed. Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding the 2021 street and utility improvements bid award.
I will let Mark E. Langer take this one.
So we did receive the bids for the project last week. The project involves replacement of water main on Cottonwood Lane, curb and gutter repair on Cottonwood Lane and Blanche Drive, sidewalk installations on Cottonwood, Blanche, and Veterans Park, and other miscellaneous items related to that type of work, pavement replacement. The low bid was received from BKS Excavating. He provided the required documents with his bid, including a bid bond. So if the council so chooses, they could elect to award the bid to BKS Excavating for the project.
Teresa, any questions or comments?
No, look good.
Larry?
No comments. Thank you.
Bill?
No questions.
Ryan?
No questions or comments.
Linda?
No questions.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to award the improvements to BKS Excavating.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Second,
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone
Aye.
opposed? I just can't get the timing right. That motion passed.
You'd know it if she disagreed.
All right, I mean, there's more opportunities. There's one more chance here. So that motion carried. Discussion and possible action regarding an engineering services work order for Red Hawk Farm Sanitary Sewer Extension.
So I'll kind of kick this one off, and then maybe Mark can jump in if there's questions or if I missed something. This is a work order for engineering services, basically for the design of a sanitary sewer extension from the lift station that was previously built in 2019 along Parkview Drive. The sanitary sewer line that is being proposed would extend in a westerly direction and get to the top of the hill, as everybody refers to it as, over there in former Pierce Farms. And the reason this is being requested is there has been a proposal for single-family development to continue south of the existing Red Hawk Farms project that kind of was finalized in 2020. And the only way to continue single-family development in that area is to extend sanitary sewer from that lift station to serve that site. In discussions with the developer and the landowner that the sanitary sewer would cross, they are understanding as to the need to this development and the need for the city to assess for that development, for this improvement, if that's where it comes to. But the first step in the process is to have this engineering work order executed so the design work can be underway and we can get cost estimates so we know what that assessment would be. In the event that we go through this process and development does not occur, we wouldn't begin construction on that until such time. And even if that were the case, they would still be assessed for that project, even if development didn't occur after this construction took place, similar to what we did with Red Hawk Apartments. So this would be the first step in the process. The developer who wants to develop the balance of Red Hawk Farms has indicated that they would like to begin construction yet this summer. So in order to kind of meet that timeline, we're trying to move along with the ability to get sewer to him.
Yay.
Did I miss anything, Mark?
No.
You look
Larry,
disappointed.
Larry, any questions or comments?
No, thank you. I'm fine, thanks.
Bill,
Oh, it sounds like a necessary step.
Brian,
No comments.
Linda,
no questions.
Teresa,
Oh, it's fine.
is there a motion?
I would move approval of the engineering services work order.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Was that an aye from you, Linda? Like I literally heard nothing this time.
Oh, I waved my hand. Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? That motion carries. All right, review of March financial statements.
Nothing too exciting here. We're already 25% of the way through the calendar year. I don't know where that time went. Nothing sticking out as unusual or anything, so that's a good thing. And the audit field work was completed last week with no issues. So guess if there's questions on anything in there, be happy to try to answer them.
Linda, any questions?
No, thank you. No. No.
Not sure if that's a yes or no, but Teresa,
No questions. Thank you, Dan.
Mhm.
Larry,
No questions. Thanks, Dan.
Bill,
No questions.
Ryan?
No questions. I was tempted to just mime that.
Okay, we're all gonna learn sign language before the next meeting. All right. Oh, discussion and possible action regarding committee appointments.
Want to make sure that everybody received the email from Jenny. I think it was late yesterday afternoon. That was the most updated version of the committee appointments that the mayor is recommending.
Bill, any questions or comments?
No, look good to me.
Larry,
Sounds good.
Teresa,
Sounds good.
Ryan,
Look good to me.
Linda? Thumbs up from Linda.
And is-
Okay,
Are you aware, is Devin okay with his appointments? I know you spoke to everybody, but I just, since he's not
yeah,
here.
yep. Well, he didn't say he wasn't. And last I heard from him, he was fine. So unless he changed his mind from last week. Is there a motion then to confirm the committee appointments as presented?
I'll make that motion.
I would gladly second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? All right, congratulations to everyone that has a new committee or remained on a committee, and thank you for serving, especially any new members that from the public that we have on our committees, and we'll continue to try and fill any vacancies that come up. All right, general items. Linda?
None?
Okay, you all heard that, right?
I heard it.
Does anybody else have any general items? Otherwise, we're just going to go to committee reports and staff reports.
Ashley, did you want to talk about the Story Gardens Pennies for the Pathway fundraiser now, or did you want to wait until your staff report?
I have it in my staff report, if that's okay.
Okay, so we'll go ahead with, so does Parks and Rec meet?
Parks and Rec met last night. There was not a quorum, but we were able to walk around in North Goodrich Park and take a look at some of the playground equipment there. That's one of their priorities for this year, is to update some of that playground equipment. And then we also went down to South Goodrich Park to take a look at some additional pathways that need to be put in there to make that area a little bit more accessible.
Okay.
Then
Any other reports on committees that have met?
I think the Parks Committee is planting trees on Saturday too, aren't they? Is the dog park cleanup that day too?
Yes, it's going to be a
Yeah.
busy Saturday for the Parks and Recreation Commission. So at 9 a.m., we're going to meet at College Green to plant 2 trees, and then we'll go to Veterans Park and plant 1 tree in recognition of Arbor Day. And then we also have the dog park cleanup scheduled for 10 a.m. It's always the 4th Saturday in April.
And it's Earth Week this week. So that's awesome. Okay, staff reports. Howie.
Nothing really out of the ordinary, just a spring cleanup, and hopefully the 2 mechanic positions are filled within 2 weeks.
Great. Chief?
Unfortunately, we weren't able to find a candidate out of our hiring process that we started in January. So I am commencing a new search, and the applications are open now, and the process will move in and through May. Really hoping that some of the good men and women out there who aren't discouraged and really want to make a difference in this noble profession will give me a call and consider joining us.
Thanks. And Jenny?
So right now we are in the midst of renewals for alcohol licenses. So we've started to receive those. And that is going to be on June 15th after all the background checks and property inspections. City Hall is starting to receive questions about the reevaluation and assessment letters. And so those are going to be sent out the week of June 22nd. That's an estimated right now. And as soon as we find out for sure, we'll let you know. And border review is going to be August 26th at 5 p.m. So that's all I have. More training this week. So that's about it.
Thank you. Ashley?
I don't have final numbers yet, but I believe our Pennies for the Pathway fundraiser was quite successful. I want to give a big thanks to all the elementary schools, students and teachers and families who dug in their cars and couches and pockets and everything for their coins. I want to say we at least $4,000 was raised. Yeah. So Jamie and I will go live on Facebook on Friday once we get our final numbers. I know the West principal got pied in the face today for reaching their goal. So that's very exciting. And then our food truck rally is Sunday, May 2nd from 10 to 2. So that's coming up. I have a map of all the truck locations on our Facebook event page. So you can plan your route and be ready to eat a lot of food.
Ashley,
Mhm.
you and Jamie are gonna get pies also, right?
Well, so the library didn't reach our goal, but we'll probably still get pied. We'll do it.
Thank you for what you
You're not
did.
going live on Facebook to count the pennies, right? Because that would
No, they're all counted already. We'll just, yeah, they're all counted. Maybe we'll go live on Facebook and get pied. That might be a good idea. So check into Facebook on Friday.
Awesome. Mark E.
Preventative maintenance will be received next week. Working on updating the capacity maintenance and operations manual for the sewer collection system. Wastewater treatment plants starting there. We're getting ready for disinfection season, which starts May 1st. Other than that, pretty much just normal stuff.
It's really boring. It's really boring.
Most sewer televising. Sometime this summer.
Dan?
I don't really have much. Like I said earlier, we had the audit field work last week and it was pretty uneventful. So that was good. Thanks to everyone for helping make that smooth. Because that stuff doesn't happen on accident. It's not just me. But other than that, I don't have anything.
Thank you. Inga, do you have anything else that we didn't talk about?
I don't think so.
Al?
Yeah, I don't know if folks caught it yesterday, but I was on WCLO in the afternoon. The reason I was asked to be on, it helped kind of remind me that, there's certain topics that seem to grab the headlines, and it seems to be what everybody wants to talk about all the time, and they kind of forget about other things. And it was a good topic, or it was a good opportunity to kind of revisit. The reason I was asked to be on WCLO, because outside of our little world, the region is still looking at us and saying, how in the world is Milton doing what they're doing? Little Milton is grabbing these gigantic developments. They're seeing commercial development, they're seeing residential development, they're seeing industrial development. And it was a good reminder that sometimes we can get lost in the moment and not see the forest for the trees, but the rest of the world is kind of saying, wow, this is impressive. So it was a nice opportunity to chat and kind of toot our horn about where we are. And it was great to hear an outside perspective. The individual that interviewed me is not a Milton resident, lives in Janesville and follows us very closely, was very well educated on what was going on in Milton, and certainly had very high praise for what we're doing here in Milton and the changes that they have seen as somebody who's lived in this region for the last 20 plus years, to see how Milton has not only changed economically, but changed kind of socially and how we there's clearly from the outside looking in, they see the stronger relationship between the city and the school district. They see the stronger relationship between the school district and the chamber and the city and the chamber. So people are taking note. And again, sometimes we get lost in those hot button issues and forget kind of where we are, that we've swam a long way down the stream. There's still plenty of water ahead of us, but we don't want to forget how long it took us to get here. So it was a nice opportunity again to kind of toot our horn and kind of revisit some of those great successes that we've had and will continue to have.
Mhm.
And we barely talked about the fire department at all. That was my favorite part.
That day will come. That day will come. And I do think it speaks highly of our staff and also of the policies that you all as elected officials have passed and promoted, and just how willing you are to work with developers and the community, residents too, not just commercial and industrial, that, we're still working through those goals of being a welcoming and inclusive community that you all promoted and voted on when we developed our strategic plan. So, thank you for all of you and all of your work and your commitment and the staffs. So I know you've all been waiting for the team building exercise, and it'll be super easy tonight, super easy. So, because we have such lovely spring/summer weather coming.
It snowed today.
I don't know. I don't know what Howie did. I don't know what he did to cause it to snow, but here's your question. And there cannot be any duplicates. No duplicates. It's not going to fly tonight.
Jeez.
Name one thing you would see, and Mark Langer cannot go first. He's just right. He's on mute. He's on mute. So he's not even ready to go first. Name one item you would see at a Wisconsin picnic.
Ooh.
Geez.
Right.
Beer.
Not a cow. Yeah.
Cornhole game.
So instead of Mark blurting it out, like 5 people all at once say something. So far I have Ryan saying cheese. Mark S. Oh my God, you have to go.
People.
I'm loving the creativity. I'm loving it so much. Dan, did you say something?
Yeah, I said brat.
And Bill?
I said a cornhole game.
Good one.
Okay.
I heard Howie say beer.
Beer?
I can switch it to potato salad if you want.
That was gonna be mine. You can't.
Oh, all right.
I'm just kidding.
It appears the courier left us again.
How
And I'm
about,
like, I can't get much easier than this. Come on.
how
guys.
about potato chips?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny?
Watermelon.
Jenny raises her hand. I call on her, and Linda makes herself heard in a way she hasn't been heard all night.
I'm gonna say mosquito spray.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good one.
And Linda?
Mhm. I said watermelon. Did you hear that?
I did. So far at our
All
picnic, we're gonna have cheese, brats, beer, chips, watermelon. And we're gonna play games, and we're gonna have mosquitoes. Mosquito spray. Did you say mosquito spray?
I'll say frisbee.
Teresa is going to be playing frisbee. Al?
Maybe it's just me, but I like there's always French onion dip. at any kind of outdoor activity in Wisconsin, no matter what it is. If it's a cookout or a picnic or a family reunion, somebody always brings French onion dip. I'm always in favor of that.
I'm gonna say some kind of a crock pot
Oh, yeah.
with
Yeah.
something in it.
Yeah.
Usually something delicious.
Uh-huh.
How about a dirt encrusted child?
Or an adult.
I've got 3 of those.
Depending what you're playing.
I'll say there's a radio playing some kind of sports game.
Oh, who do we got left? Just Mark Langer hanging out? Mark E. and me?
He's terrified to
Scott
speak.
And Chief. And Chief is raising his hand, so I'm just ignoring. I'm putting my hand over Mark's face right now.
Well, I was going to say mosquitoes until Jenny said mosquito spray. So I'm going to declare that that's not a repeat because it's 2 distinct things.
You do need both. Can't one without the other, so.
So true. All right, Mark E.
Do I have permission?
All right.
I was thinking grass, but I would say like a pet dog.
A dog. Did you say grass because it's April 20th? So a dog.
I got to find out where he holds his picnics.
I'll say a picnic table. I'll say a picnic table. So did we get everybody? We got everybody. So we are going to try and have a community picnic this year in July. And have our volunteer and staff recognition. So we're hopeful that we can do that. It will not be a potluck. I'm not sure. We're figuring out food, but it won't be a potluck. It's a bring your own grass thing. And drinks and table settings. So, and it is Earth Day week this week and Arbor Day. So be thinking of what you're going to do to celebrate that. I ordered my Ice Age Trail atlas. So if you need any maps, I can show you that if you want to go on the Ice Age Trail. I became a member of the Ice Age Trail Alliance or whatever it is. So you guys can be thinking of what you're going to do to celebrate Earth Week and Earth Day. It may or may not be a team building question at some point in the future. Any questions? Any other comments? Our next meeting is May 4th, 2021. I can't think of anything else. Are we forgetting anything?
Congratulate Jenny on making it 1 month.
Yay.
Yes, and today I found out that the person that took my position in Edgerton started, so it's official, you're stuck with me.
Yeah, and look, team building did not even scare her away.
Did not yet.
And I haven't been giving her the questions ahead of time either. So
you can do that?
No, I don't think I've ever done that. Maybe once. I don't think it even matters if I don't even think anybody reads my emails. So
You once gave it to us about 5 minutes before a council meeting, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And none of us got a chance to actually see it, I think.
yes, I think I did that. But just so you know, like, because you're able to think quickly, like it's helping your brain make new connections and it's staving off potential early onset of dementia. So in 10, 20, 30 years, you can all thank me for the team building, and your families for sure will thank me.
Mhm.
For sure, if 30 years from now, I'll thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Good job, Linda. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
aye.
Is anyone opposed? All right, thank you guys. You did a great job. We're officially adjourned till May.